Hello, everybody, for your H-Town Rundown Houston Rockets basketball podcast. As usual, host Preston Sims here. And today I got our boy, PG, Pastor George on the pod, man. What's good, man? What's good?
All is well. All is well, man. Excited to be here. It's been a little minute, so just kind of happy to show my face. I think I did a little jump in during the a couple strings ago with Jackson, yeah, and that was fun. But yeah, I'm here to kind of give my input. Excited to be here. Excited where we are with the Rockets, man. Ready to go.
Absolutely, it's that time, baby. So let's jump right into the intro. Yeah, PG, man, what you think of the new intro, man?
It's been I like it. I like it. Yeah. I like that.
Definitely fire. It's definitely fire.
Yeah.
So we
got started with my boy Dylan Brooks dunking on people. I like
that. Yeah, bro. We gotta show some love to DB despite him not being a great defender lately. We still gotta show love, man. We're gonna talk about all that today. So first, we're gonna talk about Houston Rockets versus San Antonio Spurs. Later, we'll talk about the Clippers game, and then we're gonna talk about whether or not the Rockets should tank or compete going forward, man. We got the chance to get that fourth pick, but the numbers really ain't been in our court lately. So let's see what's going on, man. To start it off here, fantastic, huge W against the Alien when we face the Spurs, man. 114-101, massive W. Alperen Sengun dog walked his boy, bro. 45 points, 16 boards, 3 assists, 5 steals. That's 2 career highs, by the way, in points and steals with a block. He shot almost 60% from the field. He went 2 of 3 from 3 as well, and he shot 71% from the free throw line. He was doing it all in this game, and not to mention he had his backcourt doing it all as well. 30 minutes of play, Fred VanVleet, bro, 21 points, 4 boards, 10 assists, and 4 steals. 53% from the field, which is unusual for Fred because he's not that efficient, but he was efficient tonight. He went 55.6% from 3 and didn't get a chance to make any free throws. And same can be said for Jalen Green. Our backcourt combined for 0 free throw attempts, which is really interesting in a game where you've got such physicality that we saw. Jalen Green in 39 minutes, he had 23 points, 2 boards, 3 assists, and a steal. He went a whopping 1 of 10 from 3. Not great, but he shot 48% from the field. Overall, he went 10 of 13 inside the arc. Pastor, let's start by breaking down the game, baby, and start with the paint play, man. How are we coming at Wemby's chest, bro?
Man, bro, tough, hard. Like taking it straight to him, right? Yeah. Verbatim, Sengun says like he's not strong enough yet, so I gotta take it to his chest. So I'm with that. I'm with that mentality all day. I like a lot. It's kind of like I'm finally starting to see development. You know what I mean? And I hate to say it that way because like I feel like it takes away from like how good of a game it was. Like this isn't their like first sign of development, right? But like. When I look at these guys and I see like, the points put up, I see the efficiency. We kind of see a little bit of like, again, another reason why we brought Fred VanVleet in. Whether you're a fan of him or not, you still see the product, right? And you can be proud of that. And so when you look at what Sengun did, I see a lot of people talking on TLs like, yeah, well, finally we know we have a star, right? And I can stand by that type of notion, right? Finally, we understand that we have someone who holds weight, holds his own. And I am like super grateful, because I was on space for this game, right? I was watching this game with other people, and it was like, man, they was talking so much shit about Sengun, and not like in a like disrespectful way, just like where should we go, paths here and that and the third. And one of my guys, man, I love his name is Rogue, man, he's super hilarious, and he was like, man, superstars don't come year in and year out. You can't just drop a superstar every year. You're not gonna just find one. That's why the league recycles superstars for the last 10, 20 years. Like you see, it's KD, LeBron, and so, right? It's always the same set of superstars over and over and over. That's why MVPs kind of go to the same guy or same group of people over and over. And it kind of made me think, like, man, if who is the guy on our team that could be that person, or should we move on, right? So that was all before the game, and as we started the first quarter. As the game went on, I was like, wait. This is the guy, you know what I mean? Like, I truly think that, you know, Sengun showed us a lot. I'm proud of that young man. Man, it just I don't want to hear nothing about Wemby, bro. That piece of shite over there, he could not handle the Turkish tornado, man. He couldn't handle that boy. And I'm just so proud of what he was doing, putting 45 on his head all over the place. They even got on ESPN the next day showing clips of Wemby, 3 little highlight plays, man. But nah, get that up.
And that was it. That was it, man. Because that first quarter, Wemby did have me scared, right? You know, first couple plays of the game, you know, he got a block, he got a layup, and then his first bucket was a step back 3. I was like, all right, like, you know, here we go. And then Sengun said no. And despite Wemby blocking him, Wemby had 7 blocks in this game. So I give him his defensive props, right? He has 7 blocks in this game. He's 7-full. He's going to get his blocks. I get it. He blocked Sengun 5 times. And guess what? Sengun shot 11 of 20 on him. He took 20 shots on this dude. What was really interesting is that despite Wemby's relentlessness in either blocking him or just being able to kind of hold a little bit of his own in the post, Sengun said no. Sengun kept coming and coming and coming, whether Wemby was ready or not. Pause. And
I was going to get you to it, but I go ahead.
Pause, yo. And it didn't matter. And that's what I love, the tenacity, the ability for Sengun to kind of emerge as this leader in a sense to like, hey guys, look, I'm gonna go at him, so I expect y'all to go at him. And throughout the game, we saw the whole team getting physical with Wemby, right? We saw Cam go right at Wemby. He tried to dunk on him, he tried to yam on him, and
he even had some success. It was some physical layups too along the way where he did try to dunk on him, but he had some success at going at Wemby early on too, and it just. Not that doesn't, to your point, doesn't take away from Wemby's current success as defensive. He's in the route to be defensive player of the year, right? And I stand by Draymond on those particular conversations, but like it is saying it doesn't take away from Wemby being a good player, but it just more so talks about the mentality of where the young guys that we have currently are, where they're going and where they're thinking. In this game and those guys you named, they were showing that they're willing to compete and get physical in that competition. So I'm like, yeah, definitely with it. Definitely with that line.
Definitely with that. And like you said, right, about Cam, he backed Wemby down under the post and used it as kind of a barrier so Wemby couldn't block him immediately. And he got easy lay after easy lay. And that really shows the growth and IQ of Cam, because when he first started playing, he just come in, boom, try to power dunk, and then he'd do a 3, right? But in this game, we saw a couple mid-range shots. We saw layups. He was trying to dunk on people. He had that nice dunk, that nice fast break windmill dunk. That was really nice. And then going forward, and then to other players, right? Even Jalen Green, like the way that they were playing off Sengun entirely, and then Fred still getting 10 assists in this game. I feel like Alp should have had way more assists than 3. When I looked at the box score, I thought he would have had at least 5 or 6 in this game. Just based on how he was dishing the rock and passing it. But I mean, when you got 45 points. I mean, that's the most by a Rockets player since KPJ's 50. Don't
talk about my boy.
And it's nothing. It's just like that's so crazy. And
it is crazy.
Too,
No, I mean, I don't think this like if you had to guess who was gonna get it first, they're 40, almost 50, right? I mean, of course they're able to pick Jalen, but for it to be Sengun, I mean, and Sengun looks like a prime player get into it.
Yes.
A point I want to also bring up, because I would like to say that I wouldn't necessarily say I was wrong here, but I will say that someone brought this to my attention, and I am, again, grateful for the people I get to talk sports with. We get to shoot the shit all day, and, we talk, we banter, we argue, whatever, but it's always fun and games. I also learn a lot from other people's perspective as well. And I got a chance to talk to, his name is Dr. Barrett on Twitter, and he is protagonist of Sengun. I mean, he may not tell you that, but trust me, he doesn't really believe in the Sengun way. But all right. But still, one thing that we were talking about was the pace of the game, right? And a lot of times I allude to the first 15, 20 games of the season. I thought we did a good job of pace and efficiency, taking control and playing at our own pace and such. And there's a lot of excuses to get into later. as to why that doesn't work as efficiently anymore. But in this game, I do want to note that we did a very good job of getting out and running, and you saw Şengün running as well. You saw Şengün getting active on the boards, pushing the ball up court, being in the right spots, and that's why you got to 45. So now I'm like, man, so like, wait. His pace, he can be efficient at a low controlling pace, but to see him get his pace up and still be able to keep efficiency to some degree, maybe some games will fall off, maybe some games will be even better, but this is the reason why he got to 45 was because they were running so much. You know what I mean? In a regular game, this is a 25-point game, in my opinion, if we're playing just the pace. You know what I mean? So I want to credit that to Baird a lot because this is one thing that he's been kind of vouching for. He wants to see the team play a lot more up-tempo, play a lot more in transition, and they want to get Jalen. And we got Whitmore. I love Whitmore, right? That's one of my favorite right now. I think I switched from KPJ to Whitmore. And seeing those guys move the ball up court, seeing Fred VanVleet look up and look to throw the ball up, like that is what we have young guys for. And that's what we need to continue to move forward to. And this game really showcased that in a very good way. And I don't know if they believe in it, but I think that they could do this type of play on a lot of teams, especially if we're talking about coming out with energy or coming out the second half with energy, learning how to get out and run and staying with that pace throughout the game and maintaining that efficiency and control. I think it's possible, and I think we have the right players for it. And Şengün showed that he can play in that particular place. He's not out of shape anymore, right? So let's get out there and run, you know?
No, 100%, you know, and that's huge, right? Because what was this? I think back in January, that was a huge critique of Jalen was he was saying that, you know, we need to play with higher pace and this and that. But Şengün said the same thing, right? It was they want to play with more pace. They want to do this. And obviously, gradually the last 5 or so games, they've been playing with higher pace. And because of that, they got into altercations again with the Suns. Jalen Green going off for 34 back-to-back, and we ended up winning one of those Suns games. And then coming out in the Spurs game, just taking the energy to them. The biggest thing is we control the pace of the game, right? Usually we let our defense dictate what our offense does, right? And by we, I mean Houston, not me on the court. Obviously, I am out there, but like, you know, Houston players, they dictate, you know, what their defense, how they're gonna attack the basket, how they're gonna go towards things. But in this game, Houston players dictated the pace the entire way through. It didn't matter how many buckets the Spurs were scoring, and they got close. They got tight within 2 points in that third quarter. There, you know, it got real close, and the players didn't care. They just kept coming and again. Kept going and going and going. The relentlessness, the tenacity, the tenaciousness to not care, and I liked that. I loved because even though buckets weren't falling, they weren't. This wasn't last year, right? Where, you know, they just hanging their heads and walking back in the defense. They also got back on defense.
Yeah,
I mean, that chase down block.
That changed from when Ime made a comment about that, right? So from that comment on, I think that there's been a clear effort on whenever you miss a foul or someone hurts you or you fall or you miss a shot, like get up and go. Like all that, we lose so many steps with the complaints and stuff. And I've been big on that for a while. You've heard me say that before.
Yeah.
It's good to see that the coach is saying it and they understand. Okay, look, if he says it, I got to do it now. So they get out there and they run. So I like that. And you brought up a good point too about the defense and not to, you know, like for this to substantiate, we can't just run without defense. You definitely have to play defense first. I don't want that to get lost in translation too. Like, they did a good job on defense here. You know, Amin with the, you know, interjecting, taking the balls, playing the passing lanes. Cam does it too, but Jalen has some very good defensive plays in both of these games and showing up. So I just think that you have to continue to play defense. Şengün got his hands in the way as well, leading the turnovers, leading the transition. So you got to continue to push that narrative and work on that to have transition offense, because that's how you get out and get ahead. So those things go hand in hand and they coincide, and I like to see that from you guys.
100%, you know, and with that defense, I mean, you know, we at the end of the day, right? We in this game we had 5 total turnovers, right? Fred VanVleet had 10 assists to 1 turnover. Jalen didn't have a single turnover. Alpi had 2 turnovers. He had 45 points though. You know what I mean? Like he had the rock a lot. He gonna have a couple turnovers. Wemby, he didn't have a single turnover, but he did have 4 fouls, right? And we're looking at all throughout the whole rest of the game. The entire Spurs roster, we forced 18 turnovers.
There you go.
That was us last year. where the
There
other
you go.
team got 5 turnovers and we got 18, 19, 20, 20 plus. I mean, how many games last year?
That's a minimum of 36 possible points minimum.
Yeah,
right? So like that just shows you how much of the plus. I mean, and that's again, that's not including 3 points. So like shows you how effective and how important playing defense is and forcing turnovers are and capitalizing on those, right? Yeah. So absolutely.
Yeah, it's great to see. Like this was like a come up game. It felt like, this is like not saying that they're growing up, but like this is like Şengün put on his big boy pants. Fred, he just played his leadership role, played the PG pure point guard, and Jalen scored. This is not so. This is like the regular, right? But this is the formula that can be something used later on, hopefully, potentially, and maybe a playoff run. The way that they ran off ball with Jalen, which I thought was huge, getting him double screen actions, which I want to see more of those pin down screens for Jalen because he can actually, sometimes he got to get that handle right. He needs to fix that handle when he's dribbling between 2 defenders. But if he can get that handle to where he can bypass both defenders on those pin down screens and split the D, he gets a wide open lane every single time. We saw that multiple times today. And again, despite him only going 1 of 10 from 3, he still went 10 of 13 inside the arc. With Victor Wembanyama, who at that point was averaging 3.8 blocks a game. Just letting y'all know, 4 blocks a game at that point. I don't know what he's averaging now, but 4 blocks a game. And Jalen and everybody kept attacking the basket.
Yep. Yeah, I don't remember. I can't remember specifically if it was this game or was the Clippers game, but I saw something from Jalen 2 times where, kind of seeing him maneuver through the defense and then finding his angles and stuff.
Yep.
And deceleration was something that for the last 2 years we've kind of been asking for from Jalen, right? We want deceleration, control. You don't even have to have good, you don't even have to have good handles to have good control, right? I mean, that's kind of weird to say, but like understanding how to pause and stop and where to start can affect how good your handles can be perceived. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So there was one game, I want to say it was this one, but it could have been the other one where he kind of like turned to the right and then realized that there was a direct lane opening up to the rim and just literally pushed back and shot down to the rim. And
that was against the Clippers.
Okay, so but my point was that it showed development, and that's something I tweeted out. I tweeted out immediately. Was like, to your point, was like, dog, that's what we've been trying to tell you can do all the time, dude. Yeah. And it's like it just has to click. And I mean, bro, like I made me proud of the young man, and that's just kind of what you're saying. It's like it is not a, like, again, this is not the first game that they've showed progression. We see progression, but this does seem like a game where it seems like it was clicking a little bit more. Yes. It meant a little bit more health, a little bit more weight in that regards. We don't want to look too far into it, but it did showcase development because we saw things that we had been asking for, and we saw them all working, meaning that we all know, fans, front office, coaching staff, players, all included, understand what works. And to see it work, we can build confidence in that and continue to see that grow. And I think that that's absolutely correct, bro. So this is definitely a big game, a development game, but we want to just continue to see it move forward, continue to see this pace, continue to see this defense, and continue to see Jalen attack the rim at an efficient rate.
100%. And we haven't even gotten to Dillon Brooks' defense on Wemby. Like I just want to say the overall defense, obviously we've talked about, it was just absolutely fantastic on Victor Wembanyama. But the way that Dillon Brooks was up in his jersey, didn't let him get to his spots, kept him in like stationary mode. He'd have to force pick up his dribble consistently and pass out to somebody else, that's what I want to see more. Like that version of Dillon Brooks, and he only took 3 shots. Now, he didn't score, but being able to be that all defensive player while not scoring a single bucket, that's perfect. That was the role, I'm assuming, obviously, that we brought him in for, was that we don't really care if you're scoring or not. We just want you to play defense 100% at all times. And he did that in this game. Again, against the guy who's got almost a foot on him. That's crazy to say because he's like 6'6", 6'7", but you got a couple inches on him, and he was all in his jersey, bro. He did not let him get any space. And same thing with the men. He was.
You think Dillon Brooks is 6'6", 6'7"? I think he's 6'4", 6'5" at best, bro.
He's listed. He listed.
Nah, he's not 6 foot 6. Nah, he's 6'4", bro. He's like, because he can. When he came in the league, he played like shooting guard. He's not 6. But anyway, besides the point, I understand what you mean. I don't ever like rely on Dillon personally. Me, let me just speak for myself.
Hold on.
I don't rely on him to be a scorer.
Yes.
So I don't think that it bothers me if he does or doesn't score. I don't want him taking big shots anyway. But if he does take a big shot and make it, that's a plus.
Then
now, my point to it is that I always want to see his defensive effort, and I think that anytime that we evaluate him, if the effort's there, we're okay. If he's getting beat a bunch with that effort, then we kind of like nitpick. But if he's getting beat a bunch with the effort and missing shots, now we don't want him anymore. And so it's like I feel where people coming from, but I've never seen a problem in his effort. You know what I mean? I've never seen it because I think mentality wise, he understands where he wants to be, where he needs to be on the court. I hear a lot of comments about him not being laterally quick enough, but at the same time, I've seen him hold his own against many different players, and I think that when you play defense, you can't win every defensive play, right? But you can put the right effort forward to make sure that you're in the right spots, or therefore you're putting someone off their game. To your point with Wemby, and he could get physical Wemby because Wemby is a rookie in the league. He's fresh, and to me, you know, this is a real statement that you can hold against me. But hey, I don't view Wemby as a center, so I look at it like a wing on wing type of setup. Even though he does have almost a foot on him, I think that when it comes to position and strength, I think Dillon Brooks has way more leverage when battling Wemby. And until Wemby becomes a better post player or understand how to use his physical body, then it won't matter. And I think Dillon knew that, took advantage of that, and that's why you saw that advantages. So I like what Dillon does. I think he understands his matchup, day in, game out. But it's not going to work every game. You know what I mean? Because there's some games where like we do like the little full court, little taunt thing where like, we'll follow them all the way up the court and stuff like that. And if those, if that works, it works. Sometimes it won't. But I still like the intent. I still like the intensity. I still like the effort, and that's what I want from my guy. So I like Dillon Brooks a lot. I like what he did. I don't want to just speak on the Wemby. I think that he does that all season, and I rock with him, bro. I like that.
100%. I obviously when we first signed him, I was totally against it because I didn't watch much Grizzlies play. I just watched him get sent out sad with the Lakers. So I wasn't casual.
He was on LeBron ass though. People would say, "Oh, they won." I watched that scene, bro. He was still like they was going. I mean, he got whooped at the end, but it's LeBron, bro. Like
it's LeBron. Bro. Career high rebound 20. Anyway, it's still good that we have him on the team. I'm glad that we got him, and people can say what they want to say, but I think getting him at $80 million is kind of a steal, especially
still tradable, bro.
There's so much flexibility that can be done with it. He's got a good contract. He's still like younger. He's not in his 30s yet, and we are seeing him do career high numbers with 3-point percentage and other things as well. So I'm all here for the DB. As long as he stops acting like he's the GOAT, those couple possessions, he need to quit that. But that's the only gripe that I've got, and I'm okay with that being the only.
Understood.
And then as well with that, Jabari Smith Jr. in this game was interesting, nonetheless. Not too much to say about that. But who I did want to talk about was Cam, who scored 19 points on 16 shots, yet again being the Minuteman, and he only played 20 minutes.
We got two of those guys, right? You got two guys that with little minutes, they can come in and like put up, efficient numbers and put up, and even just plus minus too, put up efficient plus minus. We'll miss Tari Eason for the rest of the season. Shout out to my boy. But imagine those guys together, dog. Imagine what they could do, especially if they're both coming off the bench, man. Like, dude, that's insane. But yeah, man, shout out to my boy Cam. I love you, Cam, wherever you at. I love you, bro. You are the one. I do think that you have superstar potential, and until they put respect on your name, bro, keep showing up in them short minutes you get. Make the best of it, man. Young bull, weigh like 19, right? Young bull doing his thing, bro. So I rock with you, bro. I rock with you here.
I think he's the youngest of our young core right now.
Yeah, he's the last. He should be the last too. I'm not even with the. Well, we'll get to that later. But yeah.
So going forward now, we're gonna talk about the L against the Clippers. Unfortunately, James Harden's return. This is a 116-122 L. We were up 20 in this game, and we should have won. But You know, the Silas era Rockets came back. We stopped making shots.
Oh, stop it, bro. It was a troll.
Sengun played 42.5 minutes in this game. He had 23 points, 19 boards, 14 assists. So not only did he have 45 against Wemby, but next game, and he was very tired in this game. You could see it from the beginning. He was exhausted. He still put up 42.5 minutes and still put up a triple-double. 14
That's
assists
cool,
as well.
man.
That's huge. Yeah. And he also had a couple steals with that. Went 52.6% from the field. Absolutely phenomenal again. Did make a three, and the issue was his free throws in this game, 37.5%. This is what we'll end up talking about later. And then the other guy I've got up on here for our key players is Cam Whitmore. I could have put up Jabari Smith Jr. I could put up somebody else, but I'm going with Cam on this one because in only 24 minutes of play, he had 17 points, 2 boards, and an assist. But he shot 43% from three and 47% from the field. So again, yet another efficient night from Cam in just a few minutes. I think he should have played more in this game. Me personally, there were just a lot of factors in this game, especially Jabari, getting early foul trouble, him not playing too much in this game. But let's go and start it off, man. Go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are on the game, and then I'll talk about fouls.
Yeah, no, I like this game a lot. It don't feel like a loss though. It's kind of weird to say. I mean, we definitely lost, but still, like it doesn't feel that way. I watched this game through and through. Let me start off with kind of a point that you made about the 42 minutes exhaustion. Like that's I appreciate the comment. It's still not an excuse as far as like being able to go out there. You're a professional NBA player, so I want to see more success in back-to-backs from Sengun. You are now the big honcho, you know what I mean, and we're gonna
be the guy.
Yeah, you're the guy to us. So continue to go out there with fatigue and exhaustion and be effective on the court, knowing how to get to your spots, get to your shots, and he did that. I'm not saying he didn't do that. By the way, he did that. So shout out to him for that part of it. I know it was tough, and to say the least, though, that leads to the point of how we lost as well. We kind of like ran out of gas towards the end. Going up by 20, we got out veteran and outran towards the end. You know what I mean? There were guys on this team on the Clippers team that knew how to win in the final quarter, and they showed that skill set and they made it happen. So, but yeah, no, I think they did good first 3 quarters, most of the first 3 quarters. Understanding, how to keep their pace and putting up, and a lot of that transferred over from the last game too. So I like that they kept it going with the pace a little bit, and utilizing their players and the skill sets. But I would just say that like there's no way to fix free throws between getting in the lab and shooting more free throws, right?
You gotta shoot more.
But I tell you what stopped though. What happened in this game? They stopped playing defense in the third quarter. Yeah, they stopped playing defense in the fourth quarter, right? And so like free throws, I can't give you no direct answer on that because that's a you thing, right? But when it comes to like, yeah. But when it comes to like winning a game, right, and being able to like finish off, you can't go up by 20 and then stop playing defense because you're up by 20. You know what I mean?
Got comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I would say comfortable is a good answer, but I don't know if I can't blame comfort. But what I can say is that Ryan said something that I thought was really great was that I would have thought, was it Gerald? Gerald Green said, like, I would have thought we would have been up by 30 at some point because we were up by 20. And then, like, you don't get off the gas. And to your point about the Silas, Rockets is that they would give up after a while, right? After a while, if we were up by 10, by 20, they would still give up a lead. And then, like, I don't know how many 20-point leads we've given up this season, but we have to get out of that habit, right? We have to get better. Number. You have that number. Let me know. Yeah. You got it now? Ready?
Yeah, I have it. We've lost 15 games where we're up 20 or more. Yes.
That's a 15. That's games we could have won. Like legit.
Playoff contention right now.
Yeah, we are in conversations with the Thunder at that point, right?
Yeah.
That says a lot. Yeah. Oh, bro, I did not know it was that many.
But it felt like a lot. Yeah. We'd have 41 wins.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I didn't know that. I mean, that's also like taking some away from like some of the teams that are up there. So we're competing for 1 through 4. That's crazy. Yep. Anyway, but my point to that is just that you have to play good defense, and I mean, it sounds like I'm like a broken record, right? But you have to, like, we have all the offensive power that we need to be successful, right? I mean, we are. Yeah, we lacking a backup center, or man, we got some injuries from our key guys, right?
Yeah, we can't shoot.
No, these guys can shoot. They just mentally can't shoot. But we got guys on this team that can shoot. It's unfortunate that they miss shots. Like everything you see with Jabari now, you be like, why were you missing so many shots at your rookie in his whole year? But you see that he's finally understanding how to be an effective NBA player. And since we're on Jabari, we might as well let that be known that since we're talking about defense and efficiency, you have to be good on both sides, and you can't get beat and be the best defensive player on the court and still get beat and get whooped by players, bro. Like, I understand it's KD. I know, bro. Like, there's really what? Oh man, it's KD. No excuse. I mean, look, bro. If you're being targeted, you have to take that personal. And I think he said that at the end, right? You know, later on at the post game speeches and stuff that, you know, I did take it personal. I got to be better. Cool. But I need that mindset throughout the game, during the game, right? Yeah, like I need you to come out there when you're noted. All right, this is the third time that they're attacking me personally, right? I have to find ways to be more effective. Let me play up. Let me motivate myself to get lateral faster, right? Let me put a hand in his face. Let me get closer. Let me get a foul. You know what I mean? Because that's gonna activate the Jabari because there's two types of Jabaris, right? There's like, let me play my role, do what I have to do, And then there's a super aggressive version of Jabari, and I like the aggressive Jabari. And that aggressive Jabari is kind of what I was saying earlier about Dillon Brooks, is that I want your mentality to be much more intense and higher, and that way you can affect people's game. Because we've seen you play good defense against KD.
Yeah, we just witnessed that. Yeah, we just witnessed that. You know,
so it's no reason that like you're getting whooped by
Paul George. Bro, do we have to talk about it, bro? Oh my
you know what
gosh,
bro. Like you're getting bodied by a veteran Harden taking you to the post. You know what I mean? Like,
and this ain't getting whooped Harden. This ain't even 21 Harden. This is 2024 Harden. And again, and Harden is my favorite player. Like that's me. That's my go. But it's not the same Harden. And he bullied us quite a bit. Kawhi bullied two of them.
Kawhi, that's what I was gonna say next. It's like the Kawhi one, like Kawhi's shot isn't even like a high shot.
No, he throw that thing right in the rim.
So he's just straight to the rim. Yeah. Bro, Jabari is 6'11", bro. Like I've seen you again. I brought up the KD's thing because he's like one of the hardest people to shoot, play against. But I'm saying like when you're looking at Kawhi and how you're getting whooped by him, it's like, bro, you should be able to like literally stop that shot, bro.
Yeah, you should be able to put your along with that, I did watch Paul George break this guy down like it was ice quite a few times. Crunched him up real good. I don't want to say, did he break Jabari or did he just create space on that play? I can't remember. But he created a lot of space on that play.
Jabari plays off a little too much sometimes. Like he gets in good position, but he sags off.
And I had to pull a ruler out to see how much, it was rough.
You talking about the one that he missed, right? The Paul George shot that he missed. Yeah, I literally saw it and I was like, oh, and then he missed. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. So it don't count, but the fact that it happened. So, and again, honestly, like Paul George is so smooth, and I don't want to get up here and meet right Paul George, but he is one of my favorite players in the league right now to watch and witness. Okay. But when you're on the other side of the court, man, you facing my team is nothing but hate. I gotta give it to 100% playoff beat. Mm-hmm. Sorry, my boy. And unfortunately, y'all got better of us. And like you said, we just got veteraned, right? That's all it was, because they were able to keep their cool. They kept coming. Again, pause. And that's just what it is sometimes. Sometimes they end up having to just beat us by pure veteran talent, skill, experience. And, we're a younger team. We just had probably the best game all season for us, if not one of the top three game for us all season, with Sengun went off for 45 and 16. And then for him to come back with a career high in rebounds and assists, I think, with 14 assists, 19 boards, tough. And at the end of the day, it is what it is, but like you said, Jabari's going to be effective on both sides of the court. I mean, to start off the season, I predicted that he was going to be our best defender by the end of the season. And I think, although Dillon Brooks' numbers have fallen, I still think he's one of our better defenders. And then Amen Thompson emerging as potentially our best defender all of a sudden, him being in the 96th to 99th percentile in almost all defensive metrics per 36, which is absolutely phenomenal, and in advanced stats as well. But at the end of the day, Jabari, I need you to be better. 19 points on 11 shots is really good. And he went 4 of 6 from 3, which is phenomenal. but he had 5 fouls, and I'm okay with him getting the 3 or 4, right? Because most of those are generally him fouling, but a couple of those were so ticky-tacky, like at the end of the game, right? There's like 45 seconds on the clock, and then Fred is arguing with the ref. Not even too crazy, by the way. He just asked what the hell that call was for.
We had like a
and then
bad events.
Yeah, bro, got that and it started with the we got that foul call, which I don't know what it could be pretty questionable. We got that foul call when everyone was tumbling down on the other side of the court. Shingu got some free throws. I was like, cool, okay. Then they got that foul for Paul George, and like Jabari like touched bro's elbow. I was like, okay, whatever. Like if that's what you're gonna call it,
he touched his elbow or his hand. I saw the hand. I didn't see the elbow. He touched the elbow.
Oh, you saw the hand. I saw the hand like after the shot. I didn't know if he did before, but like
it was after the shot.
So like the shot's already left. Like, but yeah, he like grazed the elbow of, and this is on Kawhi, my bad. So like he like grazed the elbow. I'm like, bro, like is it anyway? And then Fred got that tech, so they got 3 free throws on that. So not only were we down 5 to begin with, now we're down 8. Yeah. It just kind of just spiraled. I don't know. It was serious bad events, bad reffing, especially that second half. I mean, the Clippers dropped 78 points in that second half.
You trying to say somebody called Vegas?
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but things do happen, I'm just not a fan of how that ended up going, and then in terms of the free throw disparity, right? Obviously, we just got to make our free throws. We shot only 59% from the free throw line, 10 of 17. Not fantastic compared to the Clippers, who ended up shooting a whopping 27 free throws and they made 22 of them. So that's the difference right there, is they made 12 more free throws to our 10, right? At the end of the day, it is what it is, I think we still played a good game. Like you said, it didn't necessarily feel like a loss to me. It feels like a loss because we were up 20. But this was a game that we could have won if we kept our mental up. If Houston decided to come out that second half and at least play even with the Clippers in any of those respects. I mean, like I said, they scored 78 in the second half alone. They scored 36 in the third and 42 in the fourth. And we scored 30 in the fourth. Still got to score by 12. And then we got to score by 5 in the third quarter. Not fantastic. And it was an inefficient night from a lot of our players. I mean, Jalen Green, 2 of 6 from 3. I'm looking at it right now. He went 6 of 14 from the field. Fred VanVleet, 5 of 14. Still made 4 threes, which is really nice. I like that they're making
he had some good threes this game too, though. He had some like important, control of the game threes.
He did. He definitely did, but at the end of the day, I mean, James Harden at 21, Terrence Mann went off for 15, and then Norman Powell.
Man, was that the one he wasn't missing, right? Terrence Mann, he's the one who kept him in the game.
Yeah, he went 5 of 5 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3. Didn't have a single turnover at all. He was a +7. We played Zubac off the court. Zubac only played 14 minutes. Daniel Theis played. That it's just interesting to see, because Zubac, I really like Zubac, and I think last season when we played.
Well, hold on, pause though.
Go ahead.
About the Zubac thing. The Clippers play small ball though.
No, they do, but he's still starting. He just only played.
No. Last before I've just read a couple things. I thought they play small ball and they've been using it a lot lately though. So I wouldn't know if they paid him off the court if maybe if he was having a good game, they kept him on the court. But I've seen them do the small ball thing a couple times. Yeah, I don't know how many games it dates back, but it sees to be like a trending up thing for the Clippers.
Yeah, well, James Harden, man, you got James Harden, man. You should get you a roller.
I mean, if it works, it works, though.
Yeah. But enough about the Clippers. Either way, this is an L, and it is what it is. We're gonna move forward with that. So now here comes the fun part of the pod. I know Pastor's just been waiting on it. Should we tank or should we compete going forward the rest of the season? So
y'all got a tank addiction. That's what
I got a tank addiction.
Y'all got a tank addiction.
Before we start, just a couple things. Our current spot is 12th in the West right now. As of right now, before we play the Portland Trail Blazers, we are 12th. I don't foresee that moving. We are 4-6 in our last 10, and we are 7 games back from the 10th seed. So, Pastor, give me your thoughts if we should tank or compete, and then we'll debate both sides here.
I'll let you handle the other side. I don't believe in tanking like y'all do, motherfuckers, man. But look, like me personally, I feel like that's like something I gotta coin. Me personally, bro. I don't like I never thought like the whole Steven Silas outlook anyway. Like we're gonna try to lose to get the best picks and have the worst coach and figure it out because we have to get the assets and acquire. But it kind of worked out, so be it. But I don't see even this year, like remove all the 3 years of successful tanking, I guess someone may say, and like what would be the benefit in tanking this season? Does anybody have an answer? Like I don't see any reason to say, you know what, let's give up on the season. Let's let everybody else win, run over us. Like those are important reps. Those are continuity, right? So we go out there, we're gonna lose continuity because we're gonna spend the rest 17 games left. How many games we got left?
We got 20.
20 games left. So 20 games left. And it's literally gonna be just like fuck it, throw up in the air. So my point is we lose development and we lose culture, right? And I don't think that there's any way that I could vouch for everything that we built this season to just be put to the side because we want a better pick. A pick 100%. For a player that really, to me, won't make much of a difference, bro. Yep. I started the pod earlier talking about how hard it is to find superstars, and we have 6 potential players on a part of this core who could be a star within their own right. So hopefully one of those guys end up being a superstar. We think that right now it's Sengun. So it's not like we're bringing in a 7th guy that he would make that much of a difference. In fact, you do better by competing and these guys falling short and having a itch or a chip on their shoulder maybe, or some motivated to come back and do it better next year than you would tanking it out. Just like in hopes that like some Jesus player comes in and saves this particular Rockets. So I just don't. For real, bro. Like I just can't.
We already got our prayer. We already got it, man. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just can't get behind wasting viable minutes, viable talent. This particular team is very unique, man, and I think that you have to continue to grow and develop those guys, and you want to get away from bad habits, as Ime said. So yeah, man. Like no, I'm going to continue to work on what we have. And develop these guys and put them in position to win and showcase what it looks like to compete to the very end. And then that builds our culture, that builds our success moving forward, and that is viable to me. So I'm going to compete, and I think when people here compete for a championship. No. Compete in the game. Every single game you play, you go out there and you try your best to win, and you do it the right way. That's what I think of when I think of compete.
100%. So before I start debating for the tank side, I 100% agree with Pastor. I do not like the idea of tanking. We already did that, all right? And we tried to get the first pick, 2 years in a row. We ended up getting the second pick in our like half tank that first year with John Wall and Christian Wood. It is what it is. And gratefully we got the second pick, and everything tumbled with that. But we haven't been able to get the first pick. Right. And we had the numbers in our favor. We got the coin flip right last season. Oh, we got the better chance than the Spurs, yada, yada. And then they still got the first pick. We got the fourth pick, So I just don't like the odds. Right. And I've got the odds up right here, for should we tank. If right now the draft happened today, we've got a 20% chance at the fourth pick, which sounds like a great chance, except it's really not. It's a 1 in 5. The numbers have not been in our favor. Especially as of late for the draft, I just don't see us getting the fourth pick. So if we were to tank, the highest we can get is up to 26%. So you're telling me there's a 1 in 4 chance we'll get the fourth pick, and we ruined our culture, like Pastor said. We ended up throwing away the rest of the season, the last 20 games for what? Just to tell a player to lose, which it really is hard to tell a player, especially competitive players like Fred VanVleet, a guy like Sengun.
Coaches too.
Yeah, we get in there, especially Ime to say, hey, man, I need you to go throw these games. He gonna laugh. And that was the culture we had last season as to why we couldn't get anybody here. We just lost all season, and some of it was for development purpose, sure. But a lot of it was just to, all right, get the highest pick we possibly can, and then we'll go into the offseason with what we got. No, and we're not going to find anybody in this draft that's going to be culture changing. Probably even at the fourth pick anyway. Just the chance of that happening is, rare. And it's just not in our cards right now, you know. So if the draft happened today, we would have the 8th pick or 9th pick, I believe, and that would transfer to OKC. Brooklyn, we get the Brooklyn pick, which is one above us right now, so we'd have the 8th pick. Me personally, like we talked about last time on the pod with Dante, go check it out.
You personally? Go ahead.
Yeah. We ended up chatting about whether we should draft or trade, and if we get the 8th pick, I was saying that we should trade it, to package it up for something, either down the line or maybe a trade with someone that's better at a position that we need, So, but that was just my thoughts. But going forward with that, why we should tank. Pat we talked about the cons, so I guess let's talk about the pros, if there are any, for tanking.
Pros for tanking. Sheesh.
We have a 4.5% chance of getting the first pick.
Hey. Shit. Maybe fire the GM. I don't want that boy no more.
Are you calling for Stone? Is that on the pod?
Hey, respectfully though, me personally, I'm ready to move on from that guy. But that's a whole nother conversation. We could talk on a whole.
We haven't had a pastor rant yet today, so
yeah. I'm trying to keep it. You know what I mean? Because like I could go up to 10. I'm really trying to keep it at like a 5, 4, 5, 6. But look,
we're due for a 7. I could do a 7.
Do a 7, yeah. But nah, man, like I feel like a tank maybe could lead to turmoil, would lead to position changes, and the position change, like who has to go next. I think rightfully so, the next person to go would be a Rafael Stone. But I mean, that's hearsay, and that's we don't have any proof of that. But I don't think that there really are many benefits. And I mean, if I was to make maybe we tank. We look up on a decent pick. We use that pick to trade for a particular star. Maybe purchase that up with some players that we already want to move on from. Maybe that makes sense. Or tanking allows us to maybe offer a contract of lower amounts to particular players that aren't performing well for the rest of this season. I don't know, those things, we are I would just say non-tangible objectives. It sounds good, but it's just not reachable, even in a tank. So. It's it sounds good, but I couldn't put myself out there on a task and say, the idea of maybe getting a 4th pick and trading that pick for a Paul George, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, what would a 4th pick even get me?
In the draft, it's not very deep, right? You're looking at maybe 2 or 3 players that could be franchise changing at a low level. I haven't paid much attention to the draft, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of buzz. It's not like last year's draft or even the year before that, with Powell, so it really it's interesting to see where things are at this time of the season, where teams are, since we're talking about it, right? We're 12th right now with 27 wins, and we are directly below the Utah Jazz, who has 28 wins. So they've got the same amount of losses as us, both at 35, but they've just got one more win, so they've played one more game than us, right? If we beat the Blazers tonight, we'll be tied for the 11th seed. That's cool, but we're still 6 games back from the Lakers. But with that being said, we can now talk about notable injuries for teams, because there are a few teams who are in the play-in right now, but have some injuries. So the first one I want to start off with is the Lakers, right? So I'm looking at the Lakers right now, and per ESPN, the injury list, they've got Christian Wood for a knee. They've got Anthony Davis, day-to-day Davis, as per usual, listed as day-to-day on here with an Achilles injury. And then LeBron is questionable against the Bucks. Does not say what his injury is on here, but I believe he hurt his ankle in the last game that they played against the Kings in that 4th quarter. So if LeBron is out for 5 games, the Lakers are likely losing all 5 games. And it's nothing against the Lakers. It's just LeBron is that guy. He is that dude. And Anthony Davis.
Probability.
Exactly. Right. That's what it comes down to, is how likely is it, right? So with AD potentially being injured for a couple games, LeBron potentially being injured a couple games, they could slide. Now, another team that is above us is the Golden State Warriors with 33 wins, 29 losses. They are sitting at the 9th seed currently. they just had a huge hit to their best player, Steph Curry, who rolled his ankle pretty bad last night. And we know Curry was ankle injuries.
Yeah, I shouldn't be happy, huh? That's not right for me to be happy, huh?
Man, I don't wish injury on nobody, but don't even fake it like that. Well, that's that. Nah, bro. And you know, I don't wish injury on nobody. You know, speedy recovery to these guys. But how can we use their misfortune to our advantage? Is how I'm trying to look.
Compete. That's how you do it. You compete.
Yeah. So with Curry being out and injured, who are the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, we're gonna see though, bro. Because everybody always talk about. We're gonna see, man. I don't know. We're gonna see for sure, dog. But yeah, we definitely gotta take advantage. I mean, that kind of be like how the luck of the draw is. I mean, at the end of the day, I learned this from like the Texan season. You just kind of like got to do your part, right?
Yep.
You handle your end of the bargain. With injuries, without injuries, you have to come out here. You got to win however many of these next games you need to reach that 10 seed.
Play who's in front of you.
Right, you know what I mean. So if you to come out there, and you know, I think we got a lot of road games coming up and such. But hey, man, make a change, make a difference. Take the right steps. You know what I'm saying? Like continue to build on what you did these last couple of games and compete. That's it. The only way you can do that is, and the only way you can take advantage of your situation or other people's situation is by doing so. So I'm with that.
Exactly. And then I'm looking at the Utah Jazz, who again is just one game above us. Walker Kessler has been in and out of the lineup, and right now he's out. Looks like he's got a foot injury, and then Lauri Markkanen is listed as day-to-day as well. And Lauri Markkanen has been out.
Can I side note this?
Yeah, please.
I want to side note something, man. I don't know how, and plus, like, I don't really care about these like Brooklyn picks as much as everybody else. But I would like to see. Shaq had brought up something I had said. I had said this like a while ago, but I would like to see Lauri Markkanen next to Sengun.
Yeah. Yes.
I would really like to, bro. I don't know how we'll need to do it because I still would like to keep Jabari, you know what I mean? And I love Tari and I love Whitmore, you know what I mean? But bro, I really like Lauri Markkanen, I think is a player that fits so well next to Sengun, bro.
Weak side
I could be wrong though, right? It could go like disastrous, right? I mean, because Lauri doesn't even like playing the 5, to be honest with you. He doesn't like doing so, but he could play 3 through 5. He
likes playing the 3. He loves playing the 4.
Right.
Can you imagine a lineup of 6'11", 6'11",
so 6'11", 6'11", like bro, like it's insane. So I personally, like, man, I would love to see that. No, so yeah, me personally, I would love to see that. But it's just like I don't even know how we could do it because I feel like, but then again, like we got so many picks. Like, would you try the luck of a draw of drafting a player, or would you trade? You know, a couple picks. I think they want like 2 or 3. I'm sorry, they want 3 or 4 first rounders for that particular player. So if they
they want 3 or 4 because what he was shopped. I don't know what year, but when he was shopped, kind of around the trade deadline, it was 2 or 3 with a couple players, or 3 and 4 with a potential young guy. Okay. So and we've got up until 2027. So that's 3 years of Brooklyn picks or swaps that we've got, right? On top of this year's pick, and along with, I think we've got a future Clippers pick, if I'm not sure. And then we've also got 5 second-round picks as well waiting in there. So we could package something up together, even with some of the players that are kind of low riding on the bench, or maybe.
Yeah, our problem is that we don't have enough like youth that's outside the core, right?
Yeah,
which is okay. Yeah. I mean, because like that's a problem we had prior to this set of core, right?
Yep.
So it depends on like if they're asking for picks and taking Cam Whitmore. I throw some hands if they offered that, man. I throw some hands with some people in Utah, bro. Yeah. But yeah, man, I like to see what it would take. You know, I like to see a genuine conversation had about Lauri Markkanen, bro. You had brought up the Jazz a couple times that struck the nerve.
He's a very nice player, very efficient from 3, and I mean, the Cavs made their first playoff run ever since LeBron. Once Lauri Markkanen joined that core, where it was Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen played the 3 predominantly there, and they had 2 6'11" guys and then a 7-footer, legit 7-footer, running the court at all times next to Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. And true, they did go out in the first round, but it was the first playoff series for a lot of players.
Yeah, I think, and to be said about this though, like I think the success is around because you can still do it, right? You could do Steven Adams, Şengün, and do Laurie. If you want to go like a big, there is a lineup that defensively that Ime likes to have a couple of bigs out there at the same time, double big lineup, and it's not like to be like like Robert Williams isn't like a stretch big, but he's like a bigger guy. I think that's kind of like the role Steven Adams sits. But having a stretch, big men, rather they're at the 3 to 4 to 5. I wouldn't say forwards, but there are 6'11" threes, or 6'10" threes, but just not often like Michael Porter. But having the longer guys, right? Another guy I really like lengthy, right? Another guy I really like is Jaden McDaniels. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah.
That's my guy. Really, I liked him coming into the league. I had followed him for a while. And that guy is like those guys when you put next to Şengün, or specifically you put them in the Ime defense, they will be very effective on protecting the rim. And I think that when you have length at those particular positions, I think we're kind of undersized at the forward spots. Jabari to me is more effective at the 3 in this particular defensive scheme, but hey, it is kind of is what it is. But I just think that you have to get length, or you have to find, you need Tari back. But I think Laurie or Jaden, those guys fit. I'm not trying to be funny, but those guys fit, and they can fit seamlessly next to Şengün, and you still get the flexibility of like rotating and putting out different lineups that still include like a Steven Adams or something like that. So
and the fact that we've gone this entire podcast, we're talking about defense and this and that.
Defense.
We didn't even mention Steven Adams until just now, which we're gonna have him next season. And he's gonna be huge.
And Tari back. Yeah, him and Tari back.
And no matter what role either one is playing, they're gonna be massive, massive upgrades. I mean, Steven Adams to Jock Landale, night and day.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on from him too, man.
He been going, him and Tate, but anyway.
Don't get me started with the Tate shit.
Dante brought this up last time. Now we're getting a little off topic, but Dante brought it up last time. He said, he wants to see Cam Whitmore play, and he thinks that Cam should get those Tate minutes. And as we've seen, Tate played less, Cam played more. Do you think that's the right move?
That Cam gets Tate minutes? Absolutely. I thought Tate on the court, was it what game he came in? He came in
I think he played that. Didn't he play that coverage game? We're gonna find out real quick.
One of the games he played where well, he immediately came in and the game went to shit. like for real, bro. Like he came in, it was like, oh, bro, they came back and they made shit happen, right? And it's like, bro, like I look, bro. Like, another reason why I'm like so out on like the whole Rafael Stone shit is that we had the opportunity to move on from this guy with a plus
2 second-round picks.
I mean, at one point they was offering a first for him. At one point,
late first,
yeah. Like this guy here, we got him for nothing. We've developed him into a somewhat NBA caliber player, right? He probably could play NFL, but excuse me. But the guy, if you got him for nothing, you definitely can move on, and you're winning off of packages. This is how other GMs like the Thunder, right? The Cavs have done this as well. The Jazz have done this. Boston has done this, right? It's when you move on from a guy that you didn't spend anything on, and you make do and you make profit off of that guy, right? And I think that we could have done that with this guy. He's not in our future. And I get that you want to make sure he got paid, but that was the whole point of giving him the contract, right? So you give him the contract, so now he's guaranteed money, and then you trade him away, and now you guarantee yourself profit. And I think that I understand that there's loyalty in the way some people may be GMing, but there's good faith, right? And then there's like, you do it in good faith. And we did the good faith part.
Yep.
We don't have to hold on to this guy because we developed him. No, like that's Tari Eason is the guy that we keep because we developed it, right? There's arguments with Jay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
They think, and this is actually around the trade deadline, the reasoning behind they didn't trade him. This came out from, I believe, Ali Khanbajani. They think Tate is a late bloomer, end quote. Dead ass. Tate is a late bloomer, and they wish
Tate is 26, right?
No, he's like 29, 28. He's
Nah,
yeah,
nah, he's not.
he's
I'll
older.
look at it right now. If he's older than me, then that's even worse because I was finna give him. I was finna give him credit.
I'm pretty sure Tate is a little bit older than 26.
How much later can you bloom, bro? He's 28.
But
He's older than me. He's a year older than
yeah,
me.
yeah.
So yeah, there's no get Tate off my damn team. You right, AD, bro. You're absolutely right. Uh,
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 look at
yes,
that,
bro.
man. Look at that, bro. He
At 28 years old, bro, I don't know how much blooming you got left, bro.
no,
Name me some NBA players that developed and blew out. Blew up after the age of 27. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I don't know many. They may be some that exist, right? But I promise you,
but
it's
Tate
probably
is not one.
right. But I promise you, it's more about usage or the team that they played on, not the not. I mean, he just got in the league 2-3 years ago, so it's like I can't really like foresee how this guy like you can't sell me late bloomer on a guy like this, bro. And I just can't.
No,
You know, I can't accept that.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think we met our case. We're
Yeah.
gonna compete. It don't matter about the pick, man. Look, OKC's getting it either way. I don't care. That's not what we came into the season thinking. Like, oh, we're gonna be bad. Didn't matter. What I care about is getting 34 wins this season, 35 wins, and that's a W, right? That's what 12 more wins than we got last season. We got
That's
a lot. We
progression.
changed huge progression. We changed the entire culture of the Houston Rockets in one season from a lackadaisical offense and zero defense to a top 10 defense in the league. And yes, we're in the 20s for our offense right now, but we're a top 10 defense, you know, and that just kind of comes and flows with our 3-point percentage. That's really what it hinges on between that and our free throws. And we just got to make more of them. We got to be more confident, you know. A coach can't give a player confidence, but they can take it away. And with that being said, I think we've seen a resurgence in confidence in a lot of our players. Again, Jabari Smith Jr., Jalen Green as of late, you know, the last 5 or so games, you know, and with Şengün dropping 45 on the Alien, it just we got a lot of good pieces here. We got a lot of positives, and I think this is the uptick. You know, we might not make the play in this season. Obviously, we all wanted to be in the play-in, and I mean, my goodness, I was drinking that Rockets juice when I saw how we started out that season. I thought, man, we could be in the playoffs, baby. We could be the 6th seed, you know? I really did genuinely believe that. But
yeah, I mean, but that was overachieving
Rockets
anyway, though. So it's like that's not.
yeah,
I'm not disappointed. Like
you know?
that was ahead of schedule.
Exactly.
Now we're like on schedule or on par. I mean, that's a good look.
I think we're still a little ahead of schedule, to be honest. I think as a whole, maybe not the front office, but
it depends on how you look at it. I mean, we got a lot of injuries and we still missing a couple pieces. And we're still struggling with on offense some things. So like I think that there's a lot that still needs to play out. But I mean, if you would view it that way, I wouldn't argue. I just think that definitely, you know, on schedule for development and what we're looking at, and we seeing progress. Like whenever I again bringing up the Jalen things, and I looked at how that panned out. If he did not show the steps that he showed this year, I would have. I'm sorry, the last couple games. I wouldn't just say 4 or 5. I'm just saying there's been immediate change throughout his struggles to where he is a little bit now, and I think that I would have been on this pod talking about moving on from him coming off season, right? So right now we're seeing the silver lining of his development, and I think that there's progress in that. So I think we're on schedule. Let's continue that growth. I say this all the time. I don't want to see it stop here. Don't just show me something and then it goes away. In the words of the great Kevin Garnett, why the fuck would you show me something if I can't have it? Okay, so if you gonna show me you that person, I need you to show me that person more often than not. All right, and I want to continue to see progression and growth and development. I think that's why I would argue that we're on schedule, and I just want to see that continue to happen.
100%, guys. So comment down below whether you think or not the Houston Rockets should tank or compete going forward for the rest of the season, and let us know why. We want to know. We love interacting.
And let us know if you think we're actually on schedule or not. I think this is important because it lets me understand what other people's expectations were coming into the season and how you guys maybe or may not have shifted your expectations throughout the season. Because kind of this happens with the Texans too. So I want to know kind of like where we stand. Comment down below and let us know. Are we on schedule? Are we a little bit behind? Are we ahead of schedule? I would really like to know where you guys stand on that particular perspective.
Absolutely. So my boy PG, It's always a pleasure talking to you, man. I love chatting it up. It's so good to have you, man. Let them know where they can plug you in at.
Man, I am on Twitter always. As you see, I want to say it's right here. Elder God. I'm on Instagram, her top Chris, which is just Christopher jumbled up. Always keep up with me. Love talking sports. Loves talking shit as well. You can always get out there and talk shit with me. Got some new content coming up as well. I will be live streaming my trading journey and got some new things coming up for you guys. So just be on the lookout for that as well. But always on Twitter, sometimes on Instagram, always talking shit. So holla at you.
Always, man. Professional shit talker, man. I love it. He's the Pat Bev for us. Be sure to follow. Be sure to follow this account at H-Town Rundown, the only one that exists on Instagram as well as Twitter, guys. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. We absolutely love the interactions over there, man. You know, we're going to be giving away new merch soon, and then into the off season, we're going to be doing some fun stuff, some giveaways and whatnot too. And then if you want to learn how to get free tickets going forward in the off season again, we need you to join, comment, like, subscribe, so we can be sure to give away give those tickets away. We did give away tickets to the Rockets and Clippers game to an account, Rockets Propaganda, and he said he enjoyed it. He had a good game. Said it was refs versus Rockets that game. Facts. But, you know, we move we move on. Be sure to follow me, your main host. That's Drip2Piece_GAWD. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Check us out next week, same time, 4 p.m. Bye.